good. I'm looking. Let's see here. I got an alert. Let's see. Yes, we are live, ladies and germs. We are live. Yes, we are live, ladies and germs. We are live. So. All right, here we go. There it is. Beautiful. Okay, so let's go to our partner.
Cast the Craze is partnered with NSC Roadshow. NSCLiveTV.com and 8 Marketing are proud to present the NSC Roadshow podcast tour. As a creator, come to be treated like a rock star as we take you on a tour with podcasters from around the world. Got a Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or a project you would like to tell thousands about? Come and get on the tour. Are you a podcaster that would like more creators on your show? Come become a tour stop on the tour.
What's up, George? Who do we have on the show today?
We have Diggins McDugal in his dope book, The Nefarious Smiths, on the show today. We're going to be talking about his Kickstarter, and we are live. We're going to be live. We're live now.
And we're live, so let's get it started.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze.
Welcome to Cast the Craze podcast. I am your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with
George Medina, the Dreamer.
Oh, hell no. We'll be starting.
What up, Sam? What's happening, brother?
So you want to be starting something? No, that doesn't go with that. So what's up, Georgie?
It could. What's going on? What's going on, my brother? Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Catch the Craze. And this is a live edition.
Yes.
Live. We live. And we are live because we have a special guest on the show today.
Yes.
It is a Kickstarter special. Now, we've been doing these for a while, the Kickstarter specials. We've been doing them for a while, but we are changing it up for the month of April, May, maybe even into June. Not sure yet. But the reason for the live show.
The reasons that we're here.
The reason for the live show is because thanks to everybody, thanks to all of you, okay, and the indies and all the support from the indies, we are booked all the way through August. So that means that we've recorded shows that will be airing on Friday, like we normally do every Friday, all the way into August. The only way to get new people in with projects like what Diggins has is this. So what we're doing for the next couple of months is, if you have a Kickstarter that is coming out, we're asking you guys to hit us up. If you want to come on the show, we will do a live show for you where we will be talking about your Kickstarter live on our show. So that's what we're doing for the month of May and June until, we start recording our shows once again for, I will say, the fall or end of summer into fall. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a great problem to have. We have in the pipeline already pre-recorded all these guests, and so we made the decision to block out any interviews from now through June, through the end of June, until we get caught up, and we're just going to open up the floodgates to the Kickstarter campaigns, which we have tons of campaigns that we'll be going live with in the next few weeks, each week. So rest assured, every Friday you're still going to get those indie creator interviews, but midweek you're going to get Kickstarter campaign interviews with indie creators that currently have campaigns going. They're launching them, so it's going to be pretty cool.
Big time.
Yeah.
And today we're kicking it off with Diggins McDugal, who has a really, really cool looking book. And the name is a great name. The Nefarious Smiths.
The Nefarious Smiths, yes.
Trouble in Tijuana. Now, I don't know if Trouble in Tijuana is the name of the actual book that he's putting on Kickstarter. We'll ask him about that. But tell you, we took a trip down to San Diego many years ago, which we'll be talking about next week on our live episode with the fellas, where we went out to Tijuana. Sam didn't come.
Yes.
But we did go out there, and Tijuana is a lot of fun. So I can't wait to read this book by Mr. Diggins McDugal, and we'll ask him what it's about, and how he came up with the idea and all that other fun stuff. So for all you fans of Mr. McDugal, get ready, because we're going to talk to him.
Yes.
In the next
Get
few
ready, because here we come. That's ready,
right.
because here we come.
You know what you also have to get ready for, Sam?
Catch the crazies. So for Catch the Crazies.
Catch
the Crazies on Kickstarter this Thursday night. We go live. We launch Catch the Crazies number Trace Tree. And it's going to be dope. It's going to be amazing. So you want to join us live because we will be live, and we're going to open up that floodgate. And all of you who have already signed up, and we have a lot of you who signed up, are ready to go with us on the launch day. Take advantage of that first day pledge, that first day bundle. The first day bundle is only available on day one. You're not going to get it anywhere else at that price point. It's a steal. You're going to want it. It's going to be amazing. Join us on the live show. We'll tell you all about it.
That's right. We're going live on Thursday.
Yes.
Live on Thursday at 7 p.m.
Yes.
We will be live. We will be bringing it. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be a good show. We're going to be launching live while we're on the show. So, have your computers ready to pledge on our Kickstarter, which is going to be fun, man. I mean, we've been in forbidden mode for the last few months, actually.
Yes.
And Forbidden is actually getting ready to be shipped out as soon as we get the copies from the printer. As soon as we get the copies from the printer, this thing will be out and about and in your hands.
Yes.
So Forbidden is. I mean, the book is done. The pages are coming in. The book is being colored beyond the 20 pages that you guys will be getting. For all of you people who had a hand in getting the book made, the first 20 pages will be in full color. So those are going to you. But the colorist has continued the work of coloring the book, and it is she's basically, I mean, she's gone, she's going into page 36 at this point, page 37. I mean, she's going in. So Kickstarter, I mean, Forbidden is on.
Yeah, Forbidden is done. That chapter is about to close, and we're just really ready for the Catch the Crazies. I'm excited about it. I can't wait for you to see all these amazing new characters that we're introducing in this series. It jumps off, it pops off. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna be fun. And if you haven't backed us on the first two campaigns, here's your chance to get all 3 issues, and join us on the live show, because there will be raffles on the live show. And some cool announcements. And we have an announcement tonight that we're going to make with Diggins when he joins us very soon. He'll be here in just about a little under 12 minutes, 13 minutes, whatever. And we'll talk about some things that we're doing with Diggins McDugal But
right.
but we are excited. And if you're watching us now, please let us know and give us a wave in the chats, either on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Periscope. But yeah, we're excited about it. There's a lot to be excited about, and we're also excited about not just the crazies, but also the fact that at the end of May, we're going to be at our first con in years.
That's right.
This is the first con the Dreamer and the Crazy Man will be together since 2007.
Yeah, I think so.
That
yeah,
is-
yeah. It's been a minute. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Not only that, but what else about the con that's important? Georgie Porgy
Yeah,
put in
well,
pie.
not only are we gonna be at the con, as exhibitors and behind a table for the first time since 2007, but for the first time ever, we are going to be hosting a panel.
What's up,
And
Gilbert Rodriguez? Yes, we will be hosting a podcasting panel at
Yes.
PowCon.
that's right. That's right. Big up to I'm sorry, I was looking at I got lost looking at I got like different screens.
Yeah, I know. I
coming
got
up
a
over
bunch
here.
of screens.
Big shout out to Sal Lamedico, who is the promoter of the PowCon that will be held in Wayne, New Jersey on the 29th. That's May 29th and the 30th. He hit us up. He said, hey guys, you guys want to do a panel about podcasting? And how do you say no, right? So yes was the answer. And here we are. We're going to be at the show. We're going to have our own panel. You guys want to go there. If you are an aspiring podcaster who's like, how do I do this? What do I do? Hit the panel, check it out, because we're going to have some, just trade secrets, I guess, things that we've learned as we're doing this stuff on how to get started.
Yes.
What are some of the, whether it's a mic or the programs to use. Let's be honest. Podcasting at this point is as easy as buying a mic, some headphones, and a computer, right? So that's the basics. But we will go in depth into how, we got started even back in the day when podcasting wasn't cool. It wasn't a thing. Podcasting was like, what the hell's a podcast? So we go back, and just recently, a couple of years ago, we came back to do this again, and it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the the rude awakening that came from coming back and having no followers, no fan base, and how you build that fan base. So we'll be talking about that stuff. We'll be talking about a whole bunch of things, and so you definitely want to check it out. Join the panel. Come in, because we're gonna have a lot of cool stuff. We're gonna have raffles. Sam loves his art contest, so there is an art contest that Sam will tell you about. What do we got? What do we got on the art contest front?
Oh yeah. So sorry, I'm just responding to the chat.
Yeah.
Yes. So for all you artists out there, here's an opportunity for some bragging rights. So at PowCon, we're hosting an art contest for Catch the Crazies. Show us your best version of Catch the Crazies. Have it ready on the 29th, on the first day of PowCon. You can either say, if you're not going to attend the event, you can still submit your artwork. We're going to be announcing the winners there live at the panel. And if Sal promises us Wi-Fi, we're going to be able to stream live, so you'll be able to watch it from home. And the winner will get cool swag featured in the next issue of Catch the Crazies and guest spot on Catch the Craze podcast. And you get bragging rights because it'll be in front of an audience, a live audience. It'll be live streamed for the world to see. Bragging rights. So show us your best rendition of the Catch the Crazies. Any medium, whether it's acrylics, oils, watercolors, Copic, whatever you want to do. Show us your best version of the Crazies for a chance to win cool swag, bragging rights featured in the book, and a guest spot on Catch the Craze podcast.
So
Deadline is the 29th. We will be making the announcement there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I mean, this is the first time we do this. So, while we've been in the industry for many, many years, this is actually the first time that we're gonna be we're hosting a panel, because it's totally different. So it'll be good. It'll be a learning experience. So I can't looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's basically a podcasting panel on how to create your podcast, from the basics to the more professional levels, to the tools and software, to branding and social media, and attracting guests and creating content and all that other stuff. So it's going to be really filled with great stuff and content and interactive. We're going to have raffles there. Live. So to be entered into the raffle is pretty simple. You subscribe to the show, and your name goes into a hat, and you get a chance to win some cool stuff. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited about it. We're gonna have to put a closed up shop table on our table because we're in Artist Alley. So from between 1 and 2, so I really 12:30 because we have to set it up. So between 12:30 and 2, we won't be at our table, but we'll be back at our table by 2:15, 2:20 once we break it down. So we're hoping to see you there. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. And even if you don't make the panel, we will be there on the 29th and 30th, as like Sam said, in Artist Alley, with some of our stuff, some of our books, a lot of our books. I know I'm going to have copies of Wonder Duck, and I'm also going to have copies of Russ 5377, the graphic novels, both of those. Sam, you're going to have a bunch of stuff. We're going to have the crazies on there. What are you going to have at the table? What's some of the stuff they can
I have Arg, which is my short story. I'll have There's an Alien in My Toilet package deal. So basically, it's the pin-up, bookmark, and trade paperback of There's an Alien in My Toilet for a nice deal. Selling it only as a package. Same thing with ARG. I will have my kids' books. I will have Forbidden, we'll Cast the Crazies. Everything that I've ever created will be available on that day. So it's going to be pretty dope.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to come by and check that out. So the next few weeks, the next few months are going to be packed with things. I mean, obviously the shows come out every Friday still. Sam's been working on the Craze in 10 or Less. You got What's in the Box. Now you have these live shows. And again, if you want to be a part of a live show, let us know you're interested. We'll fit you in where we can. For the most part, we do these on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So make sure you tell your peoples that you will be on the show. That's the other thing. You definitely want to promote the fact that you're coming on the show so that, your friends and family and fans can also check you out and look to see what it is that you're doing. So
because we can't do this without you. So it's a partnership, and we say it all the time. So while we try to create that platform for you to get to another group of audience members, it's always great for you to promote it on your end. So this way both worlds meet, and it gets bigger and better for the independent community. With that said, I see that we have our special guest, Diggins McDugal, in the waiting room. So before we bring him in, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Do you have a Kickstarter campaign and you're trying to figure out how to get the word out? You look online and you see the competition is fierce. Comic-Cons are slowly coming back, but in the meantime, how do you spread the word? You worked for hours creating your campaign. You post on as many social media sites as possible, trying to get the word out to no avail. Well, look no further. Why not sponsor an episode of Cast the Craze Podcast, the fastest growing indie podcast in the market today? That 30-second promo can get you an extra 2 to 3 backers or more. Who knows? Let's go. Hit the link below and get one step closer to a successful campaign.
Hello there. How's it going? Oh, I gotta get this screen back. What's going on, Diggins McDugal? I love your name. I just want to let you know.
Thank you, sir.
It is pretty awesome. When I grew up, when I was a kid, I'm telling you, I was gonna research it. I watched the show, and I don't know which show what it was. I don't know if it was Leave It to Beaver. I'm not sure, but there was like another family called the McDugals. And I was like, and I wanted to bring that up because I was like, are you related?
To a cartoon family? I hope so.
So how's it going, buddy?
Pretty good. How are you guys tonight?
Good.
man. Good. How's it going? How's it going, Diggins? I'm George, by the way. I don't think we've formally met. What's going on, man?
Not bad, George. Good to meet you. Are you another crazy creator, or you're the other half of the?
Yeah, I'm the other half. I'm
okay.
the other half of the duo. The duo. Yeah. Doug's like, this guy just show up out of nowhere? What's it? Who is this?
Yeah. It's the Big Brother program, so I have to watch over him.
yeah.
Every day we find a guest host off the street and just wander them in. And
That's it.
Sam feeds me, and he's a nice guy. So what's going on, man? So for everybody who doesn't know, this is Diggins McDugal. You go by Doug?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So this is Doug, and we are going to be talking about the nefarious Smiths, but we're also going to be talking about you. So get ready, because we're going to deep dive into your life.
Word.
Nice.
It's like being on center stage with Michael K over here. So we'll open it up. Just real quick, tell us who you are and what you do.
My name's Doug. I'm the writer creator of the Nefarious Smiths. Basically, we make a book about a family of supervillains and just all the shit they get into being on the wrong side of the law, not being superheroes. It's just the other side of every single superhero story you've ever read.
Basically, right? Basically. That's awesome, dude. I saw some of the art on Facebook, man. They really, really cool stuff. Really nice.
Yeah. Victor's knocking it out of the park, man.
Oh, dude, the artwork is so cool. It's got that cartoon vibe that you could this thing could totally be up on the screen right away, like on a small screen.
I know that's
Dude, that's and I hope that's the goal. But tell us a little bit about yourself, Doug. Where did you grow up? Tell us about your humble beginnings. Take us all the way back.
I'm from Canada, like Alberta. I grew up in the north, Peace River area. Pretty small town, so our only spot for like comics and stuff was a gas station. So I think I had a friend actually collect comics, kind of got me into it. And I was in the hospital lots when I was a kid, so I was always drawing comics and stuff just to kill time. So from the time I was in grade 2 or something onward, I was always making my own and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's always like a pretty big love for it, but I kind of put everything on pause when I turned 18 and stuff, and I moved out of the house and stuff because I just couldn't afford it anymore. So it's a pretty expensive hobby. When you think about it.
Are you kidding me? I mean, comic books are so expensive nowadays too. It's like, you know what I mean? They're expensive. I don't know when you started collecting, but I know that when I started collecting, they were like $1.25, and now they're up to like $6 or something. Some of these comics are just out of control. But what was your first comic?
My first comic actually was Gargoyles #1, because me and my brother were super into the cartoon, and I remember I saw it on the rack. Like I said, my buddy that collected comics was like, "Oh man, I gotta have this one. It's got the pop-up cover and stuff." And like, oh, this is gonna be worth $1 million for sure.
You still have it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Cool.
It's hanging on my wall upstairs. Actually, it's
nice.
Probably my favorite comic still.
Yeah, we had one of the creators of Gargoyle, the animated series, on our show back in the early days of Catch the Craze.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
that was cool.
I think I'm gonna reach out to him and find out what he's been up to. But
well, I hear they keep trying to make like a movie or something, or
I think so. Yeah, they've been trying. I mean, that was a great cartoon, man.
Oh, that was as a kid, I was like, man, this is like that's so heavy compared to everything else. Like,
yes,
it's awesome.
Yes. So, I love the what's the significance of your open sign behind you?
Oh, I found it at the Valley Village, like our thrift stores up here for like $6. So
nice.
Like, I want a neon sign.
Nice.
I couldn't walk away.
So,
one day I'll open a business.
There you go. You got the sign. You got the sign already. You're ready to go.
So you were buying your comics through spinner racks at a gas station. At what point did you start? When was the first time you started playing with the idea of creating your own comics?
Actually, I made a bunch when I was in junior high school. It was right when the internet was kind of just getting going. Like, were you guys around for digital webbing and stuff?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, it was back in the digital webbing days. Like, I got together with lots of creators back then, and we did 6 or 7 like zines or zines or whatever they're pronounced. in grade 2 in 1992. So yeah,
look at
7 or
that.
something.
Nice.
But
Nice.
yeah, I made a bunch in junior high, and then yeah, I sort of moved away from it once I couldn't afford it anymore.
Yeah.
And then years went by, I had a kid and everything, and got married. And then I was just drawing one day, and my wife's like, "What are you up to?" I was like, "Oh, I was just drawing." Like, she's like, "Oh, I didn't know you actually had hobbies. Like, you just always worked." I was like, "Yeah, I used to have hobbies back in the day." But she's like, "Oh, you should just make a comic." And I just like, the guy at work basically was saying the same thing to me earlier. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I will make a comic. Like, I don't really have time to draw it anymore, but I could like write one and just work with a team and stuff and develop it. So yeah. I kind of got on Facebook and stuff, and
nice.
Yeah, sort of tracked down an artist. And yeah, actually, it worked out kind of cool because I was complimenting Dennis on his art, and then I was looking for an artist on a different like group. And Dennis was like, "Hey man, I think we could make this work." Like, wow. Said you like my art. I was just like, "What? Really? That it works that way? Like you can just like an artist and you come help you?" Like,
dude, you got lucky, man. This is great. You know, I was gonna ask you because you did say that you used to draw like the comics and stuff like that, and then you gave up the writing, the drawing pencil for the writing pencil. Is that what happened? You just started writing after a while?
Pretty much. I've always liked both, but I got a pretty busy job, and my wife's got a business and we got a daughter and stuff, so I just don't have time to draw whole books. So yeah, I just figured I'd part some of it out.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. What was the first thing you wrote? I mean, obviously, other than Doug, as a kid there, like what were some of the comics that you wrote?
It's funny, man. I don't know where I put them. I found a stack of comics I made as a kid, and one of them was like a Nick Fury and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it was like Stan Lee, and I forget the name of his organization, but it's just like a knockoff of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's like Stan Lee guy was reading it. So it was like, oh, apparently Stan Lee meant something to me as a kid. I didn't realize it was that much. But I think I had this one character named Hound who was like this guy that tried to steal the powers of a werewolf, but turned himself into like a guy who was a werewolf all the time. And just he stuck being a beast basically, and I had like 30 some issues of that I drew. So
damn,
yeah, I was like, it's pretty heavy.
It's crazy, man. When you're a kid, right? Your creativity, the way the amount of stuff that you can pump out as a kid is just out of control. Yeah, you know what it is? I think, and I talk to this about my buddy sometimes. Ignorance is bliss, right? When you're a kid, you're just creating. You don't worry about the critics and am I doing this the right way? You know, everybody says knowledge is power, but like ignorance really is bliss because you're just happy doing what you love. I mean, 30 issues. It just sounds like you were just a blissful child.
Well, as soon as one was done, it was like, oh, I gotta get to work on that next one.
No, that's awesome, dude. That is awesome, man.
It's like everyone's waiting. It's like my mom and dad and brother.
Everyone's waiting for the next guy. 30, though. That's impressive, man. 30's impressive.
Yeah.
Like the guy was all shaded in all the time, like his fur. So I was like, man, how much time did I have on my ass?
That's awesome, dude. Wow. And where did you go from there? Like, what was the next thing you were writing?
Somewhere like between making comics just for fun, we hopped on to actually like onto the internet. So I don't know what age that was, but I must have been like around 98 or 99 that's when we started to get like talking to other creators and stuff to be like, hey, let's make like an anthology and stuff like that, and just do like, we'll each do 8-page stories. Because the idea was if we have 16 guys making this book and one of them makes it, we all have a buddy. Or it's way more likely than if just one of us or two of us makes the book.
That's funny. How was it growing up in Canada? Like, how was the comic book scene in Canada growing up? Was it as big as it was in the 90s? I know there was the big image boom. Was that something that reached out there to the Mac?
No, we were like, my town's like a farm town, man. It's like 2,000 people in the middle of nowhere. There was no comic books. Like once a year, maybe we'd take a 5 or 6 hour trip south to Edmonton, and my parents would let me like go crazy in a comic shop for a few hours, but that was it.
Dude, and there was no internet, so there was like, you know what I mean, like you think about that, right? It's so different.
it was Wizard magazine, man. Like Wizard was like my Bible. Like I waited every month for Wizard. I'd read it before all my comics, like front to cover. I don't know how many times every month, because it was just it was the internet before the internet for comics.
That's right. Do you remember a magazine called Sketch? Remember Sketch magazine? Do you guys remember that?
I don't think I read Sketch.
Oh, I have every issue.
Yeah, Sketch magazine was like a magazine that they put together for like artists.
So have you heard of Blue Line Pro?
Yeah, Blue Line Pro.
Blue Line Pro, they make the Strathmore paper, the 11x17 tabloid, and you can buy all the art supplies for comic books. But they also had their magazine, Sketch magazine, where they featured their artists, but as well they also interviewed mainstream artists from Michael Turner to McFarlane, everybody, and they also had how-to guides, how to draw, how to ink, all these other stuff. It was an amazing magazine.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really.
I miss magazines. It's one thing the internet took away that I do.
Yes,
there's just something about flipping through it, like the how to draw tutorials. I don't know. It's so much better out of. It's just hard to explain.
Oh, that's what I love, the Wizard magazines. I still have every single issue of Wizard magazine right on my bookshelf.
It's totally different.
The way collectors go now, I'm always telling like the speckers, get a set of Wizard. There's so much in previews and stuff in there, and like that stuff's all jumping now for some reason. But Wizard's like awesome. I would recommend a set to any comic collector.
Absolutely, dude. Who are some of your influences when you were growing up in that small town? Like, who were some of the influences that got you into doing this?
Probably my favorite, I think, as a kid was Mike Wierengo, I think his name was.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was drawing Sensational Spider-Man at the time, which is probably my favorite book as a kid. Because like, when I came into comics as a kid, all the series were so high in numbers, and Sensational Spider-Man pretty much started exactly when I started collecting. So I was like, all right, I'll start here. And that was the mindset at the time. So they're always saying now when they relaunch a series that it's to pick people up. It actually did work for me, even though I complain about it now.
Nice.
But, Michael Turner at the time was huge too.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like, he's probably still my favorite artist. Like.
Yeah, dude, it is the way. Yeah, definitely. His style of art was definitely something that at the time. I mean, he came from the Mike's what was the Alan Silvestri school, right? Of artwork, but his artwork was definitely.
Oh, it was just so like above and beyond, and just everything was just beautiful to look at.
Yeah, no, and his pencils were so tight; they were coloring off of his pencils. They weren't even inking his stuff. Yeah, they didn't even ink it. It was just colored off of his pencils. It was that tight. Yeah, he was no joke, man. He was no joke.
You're ashamed to ink that.
So you started writing. You continued writing. You 18 years old. You're like, all right, I'm gonna stop doing this.
I just couldn't afford it anymore. I just kind of became a drifter. Like I moved out to Jasper and stuff in the mountains, and then. In Canada, we got, Vancouver Island, we got a place called Tofino. And in Canada, it's like the one place you can go be a surf bum. We moved up there for a while, moved around mountain towns, became a snowboard bum and stuff. And
nice.
Yeah, kind of like pissed away a few years.
Yeah. And then, are you a good snowboarder?
Not really anymore, man.
Dude, I did it once and I loved it. Like I loved it. I really I busted my ass. Like I fell so many times, but it's such an adrenaline rush. I don't think I could ski, like, cause just the whole skiing thing, but it was almost like skateboarding, you know what I mean? So I enjoyed it. Do you ice skate? Like, being from Canada, I know that's
we got skating stuff up here. Actually, it was weird, man. I didn't go skating for years, but this year my daughter finally broke me. We went out to the pond and it was just like, I forgot I'm actually good at skating because this is all we did as kids. It's weird. You have like so many things as a child that you just sort of forget about as an adult, and then you finally get back to it and you're like, I really enjoyed this. Like,
literally like riding a bike.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's like literally just jumping on the skates, like you never stop doing it.
Well, yeah, it's Canada. You gotta know how to ice skate, man.
You know what I mean? It's funny because I come from a Hispanic background. I come from Ecuador, so it's like when I came here, it's like, oh, so you play soccer, right? Like you just like it's one of those things where like you guys play hockey, we play soccer. That's just what it is. You were supposed to be playing baseball, Sam, or football or something.
Me? I played everything. I was on a baseball team. I was on a football team. I was on a basketball. I got out of basketball because I didn't get along with the entire team. So I had to, it was either they find me packed up in some sort of locker or I just changed classes. Yes. But so what was your first real project? Was
actually, like the first Smith's book was the first. It was most of the team. It was like our first book, man. Like I started looking. Dennis actually had experience. I think Edgar, like Dennis originally we were just gonna do black and white, but he just sort of like laughed at that. So then we found a colorist, and we're like, all right, yeah, you're right. This does look better. I'm not sure if Edgar had anything published or not. And then Alf, I was looking for a letterist, and Alf's like, I've never lettered before, but I'd sure like to learn to be a comic letterist. I'll do it. And I was like, okay. I've never really been a comic either, so welcome to the team.
That's
so
awesome.
it's really like, I don't know, just a hodgepodge of everyone we could find, and they all actually turned out to be really talented. So it was like, that was kind of weird that worked out, but
I think it has to do with the love of the game. I think it sounded like everyone was having fun.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what it was, right? It was just, let's make a comic, let's have some fun. Yeah, the first issue, like there was never supposed to be a second issue or anything. Just like, hey, let's make a comic, see where it goes. And then downtown Red Deer at the same time, there was a comic shop opened. And I sort of like wandered in there. I was just like, oh, hey, I didn't know we had a comic shop. I was like, yeah, I've been here a few days. I was like, oh, that's cool. So like I started to know him over a few weeks, and I brought my comic in one day. He was like, hey man, this is a comic we've been making. I think he thought we just threw it together at first, because he's just like, oh, all right, whatever, we threw it behind him or something. I was just like, yeah, whatever. And then I left, because we spent like 6 months making it, probably from like the start of the idea to fleshing out the story and designing characters and everything that you end up having to do that you don't know you have to do when you start to make a comic.
Right.
And yeah, then the other guy from the comic shop phoned me, and he's just like, dude, did you guys actually make this? He's like, this book's awesome. I was like, oh, thanks, man. Like, your buddy just threw it in a pile there. He's like, yeah, he's an idiot, don't worry about him. So he like called us down, and he bought a bunch, and it turned out to be pretty popular and stuff. So we're just like, well, that worked out well. When we made it too, like I didn't really have an angle to try and sell it or anything, so we kind of made it about our local town. So like Red Deer is sort of one of the characters in it, so that really helped to move it locally. Like the paper did a story on it and stuff. And cool. Radio station heard or read the paper, and then the radio station started calling it the Red Deer comic, and then they started talking about it all the time, and so that really helped and stuff. So we just sort of lucked out a little bit.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Try and do any kind of publicity you can, or just kind of come up with a different angle or something.
So whose idea was it to take it to Kickstarter?
Kind of kind of a group, I think, because we did the first 4 issues we collected as a Kickstarter, but it was like, it seems like the most logical way to reach a new audience right now. Like if you don't have a publisher or anything, like Kickstarter, you're pretty much around the world instantly. Yeah. There's a lot of people on there now. A lot of like, I got a lot of buddies that buy books off Kickstarter all the time. So it's become basically a marketplace now.
Yeah, it's the norm. I remember a few years ago, it was like, wait, you're like, people didn't know what Kickstarter was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at first it was like, are they begging or is this
charity? Right? Yes, exactly. Now it's the thing. Now it's like, you go into Kickstarter, there's tons of just projects on there.
Oh yeah, now it's like you have your favorite creators and stuff, and you like, oh yeah, nice, they're doing another Kickstarter, just support them, and you get excited, right? Like,
yeah, look at what was that, Berserker? Look at how that thing did on Kickstarter. It was ridiculous, dude. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, name recognition. It's Keanu Reeves.
What I'm saying, like he was saying, creators on there, they just jump on there knowing that people are going to support it.
They can say they're going to start a campaign for Keanu Reeves tissue, and he's gonna make money on it. I mean, it doesn't matter what he does. But yeah, Kickstarter has become the especially for the independent community, the comic store for people to get independence.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice.
Yeah. So before we talk about your campaign and everything there, how did you link up with Inked?
Actually, I've talked with Brian a few times, and I think he mentioned me to, I forget his name now.
Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin, sorry. And yeah, Kevin reached out and he said he was interested maybe. And I was like, oh yeah, for sure, man. Like I don't know anything about promotion. That was the hardest. The first Kickstarter was like I think our goal was 3,500, and we finished with like $3,509 or something on the last day. Like, it was the most stressful, horrible month of my life.
That's impressive though, for you guys to make it like that on the first one, 3,500. But I hear you on the stressful.
But I don't want to enjoy your pain, but to hear somebody else to say how it was a painful 30 days, we felt the same way with our first one. It was torture.
The funny thing is, and we do it again. Like
Yeah.
It was painful. I hated it, but we're gonna do it again. It's freaking insane. And for those who don't know, who are watching, Inked is a company that helps with the promotion of Kickstarters. So yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Doug. You were saying, so you linked up with Kevin, right?
Yeah, and we just started like hashing out a plan. That's actually when he recommended like you guys and stuff, and like doing the swap promotion, the PDFs and stuff.
Yes. Spoiler alert.
I love it. I'm intrigued. What are we talking about, guys?
In other news, spoiler alert, the Crazies and the Nefarious Smiths will be doing a cross promotion to support and to attract fans to our Kickstarter. So as a stretch goal of if we make a specific stretch goal, you'll get a PDF copy of the Nefarious Smiths on Cast the Crazies, and the same thing for the Nefarious Smiths. If they reach a certain threshold, you'll get a copy of Cast the Crazies. So hopefully those two worlds,
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. Those two worlds
win-win.
collide, and this is a way of supporting each other in the independent community, and and that when Kevin told me about it. The first thing I did was look at the art style, and
Yeah, me too.
yeah, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's similar. I said, it makes sense. So then I was like, yeah, we've never done anything like that before, and this is going to be our fourth campaign. We've done 2 Kickstarters and 1 Indiegogo. And so this is our fourth one, and so the idea of doing a cross promotion with another indie was pretty intriguing. And we're all about the independent community. That's why we have the show, and so I think it's fun. So again, if we make our threshold is $2,500. So if we make so the goal is if we make our stretch goal of $2,500, you'll get a copy of the Nefarious Smith PDF from on Catch the Crazies, and same thing for the Nefarious Smith. If they make $2,500 in the stretch goal, you'll get the Crazies. You'll get the Smith from us and the Crazies from him. So both fans win, and then hopefully those fans cross over on the next campaigns.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Everybody can discover a new book or something new.
Yes.
I don't know. It's a cool way, right? It doesn't cost them anything, and they get to try something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to spread like wildfire. Other indies going to be like, oh, I want to do that.
It already is, though. This is like a thing. Like, the cross promotion, I think, is a thing within the Kickstarter community. I think that everybody's seeing that there's strength in numbers, right? So like the more people that say, for example, you can attract and we can attract, and now you have a fan base that combines it all. So that's awesome. But I definitely want to hear about the Nefarious Smiths. So how did you come up with the name, number one, and then tell us what the premise of the book is?
The name basically I just wanted to go for like The Simpsons, how it runs forever.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, this is a family, so like we just want to go for something that can run forever, and there's like basically unlimited stories. So it was like, I'll come up with a family name and ask my wife, and she's like, oh, I don't know, and she's like thinking about it, and I was like, you're taking too long, I'll just go with Smiths, it's the easiest. And she's like, no. And then
I like the way you spelled it. You spelled it with a Y. Is that?
Yeah, my favorite hockey player is Ryan Smith, and that's how his name is spelled, so I just went that way.
Okay.
And then the Nefarious got thrown on there afterwards when Stan Lee passed away, just because he always had like the Incredible Hulk, the Uncanny X-Men, Amazing Spider-Man.
Gotcha.
So it was just like a marketing thing, right? It's like Nefarious Smiths is like, oh, instantly you just know there's something up with these guys. Like, it's not just the Smiths. It's like, these are like, they're up to something. you know.
I like the word nefarious. Like you don't hear that word a lot.
No,
you know what
exactly,
I
right?
mean?
Like,
right? Yeah.
looking through the dictionary trying to find the right word for like bad people. It's like, huh.
That's awesome, dude.
Maybe it's all that's been used. It's like, oh, nefarious. That's perfect. Like,
sweet. So now, what is it about? What's the premise?
Basically, 12 years prior to the first issue of the Smiths, aliens attacked the Earth, and they tried to wipe the planet out, and like most of the humans got killed. But a bunch band together and they stopped the aliens. And one of them, Jack Smith, he was one of the guys that helped crack code and defeat the aliens. So when the aliens died, they left all their tech. So there's all this like futuristic advanced technology now on Earth. And then flash forward 12 years, Jack's been working for the government the whole time. He met his wife. They're pretty much two of the smartest people on the planet. But they got this daughter who's way smarter than either of them. And it turns out the government basically needs something solved. So they put the Smiths in a situation where they have to solve it or they're screwed. And Jack's just like, yeah, no, you don't put my family at risk. So instantly they're just like, they go to war, right? Anyway, they end up destroying downtown Red Deer and they become basically criminals on the most wanted list. And instead of trying to clear their names, Jackson's like, you know what? I saved this planet once. Screw this. We're supervillains now. Like, they want to go to war. We're going to war.
Wow.
Nice.
So it's just, yeah, it's basically from the other side of the story. Like, you know what? We tried to help you guys for all this time. Like, no. You decided to poke the bear.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just them trying to, it's basically every superhero story ever just flipped around. Like, instead of Sandman's robbing the bank, we have Jack Smith robbing the bank, but you know that he's robbing it because he needs money for something, or it's like to help his buddy out or something. But it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of role reversal for comic books, kind of.
That's cool, man. That's cool. I like I said before, man, I'm loving the artwork, dude. Like, how did you link up with, well, you guys have been working together, but like the process, talk about the process of writing and creating, talk about your process.
For the, like, we've had a few different artists, but for the newest issue with Victor, he's actually Edgar's friend, and Edgar sort of recommended him, and he's like, hey, this guy's gonna want him to do a sketch. And as soon as he sent me the sketch, it was like, yes. He had like two other friends that were going to do sketches. I was like, oh, that's all right, man. I don't need to see them. Like, I don't care if it's Todd McFarlane. Like, I want this guy. Like, it's the perfect style for the book. Like, that's the most important thing, I think.
Right.
And basically, Edgar and Victor, they're both from Mexico. So we've done the entire series kind of in Canada. So this was like a vacation issue because Jack's wife got banged up pretty bad in the first couple issues. So she's all in a coma right now. And Grayson's like, I want to go on vacation. I'm tired of being stuck at home. Like, this sucks. I want to go to Tijuana. He's like, what, Tijuana? Like, what's wrong with you? So they basically go down to Tijuana. And like, you know, Edgar and Victor are from Mexico. So they got like all the colors right. They got the whole Mexico feel. Like, it's the best. Like, we've done a bunch of issues, but this is the best. Like, most authentic looking issue, or it feels the most, whenever you're in whichever place the story's taking place, you feel like you're there. Like, yeah. And it's weird because it's like, it's so cartoony, but it's so, I don't know, it's weird, man. It feels more real just being this cartoony and just suiting the story so well. It's really hard to explain, but yeah, you just see every panel you look at, Grayson's like hopping around the panel. Like, oh, it's really fun art.
Right.
That's awesome, bro.
Right, so let's talk about the some of the tiers, and you launched on the 29th. We launched on the same day, so that's pretty dope. And so talk about some of the tiers and the rewards.
We got like regular book, and then there is an incentive cover for stores, and then we also did it's 60 some pages long, so we did just a 3-cover cosplay set featuring characters from the story. So it's just represented as a mini series instead of as a trade. So it's just because it's like, I don't know, all the variants, it's like it's always just the same book, right? So we wanted to try and present it in a different way with the variant covers instead of just the same thing. And then we got a foil cover for our first issue ever. It's like a rainbow foil one.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Nice. That is sweet.
The back piece is like one of my favorite Smiths.
Oh, that's awesome. Who's your printer?
We use Kablam.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
They're pretty solid, especially because like once you have a bunch of issues through them, if you need more books printed or whatever, just order it all at once in small quantities and stuff. Or recently, actually, like use Indie Planet a lot to sell books, and since we started promoting this book, we started selling a bunch on Indie Planet, and that's the best way as a creator. Hey, you just get like couple bucks in every email and you didn't even have to do anything. They print it, ship it out, you just collect the money. Like,
you know, I googled the Nefarious. Now, how many issues do you guys, do you have like is there a trade called the Nefarious?
Yeah, we have 5 regular issues and an annual. Yeah, but the trade is the first 4 issues just collected.
Yeah, I saw it's like 120 pages. It's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty thick.
So the nice thing about that is you don't have to print it, so you don't have to order it, keep it in your basement, and then ship it out. They can just order it right from Indie Planet.
Yeah, exactly, right? Then you won't have as much overhead.
Yeah,
and they're handling all of that. So
yeah, so we have a comment from Fresh News 247. Says Diggins so indie, I've never heard of him. Is that a buddy of yours? So the link is below, Fresh News 24/7. Thank you for joining. The link is below to the to Diggins' book, The Nefarious Smiths, to his landing page on Kickstarter, but you can also see it on Facebook, which is pretty cool. But thank you for joining.
Yeah. So we got the site down right now. We just redirected it over to the Kickstarter and stuff, aim traffic that way. But afterwards, we'll get it back up with all the Smith stuff. And we usually have a bunch of issues free and stuff on the website for people to read. Just,
He says he has your book.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I know. I'm in this like comic book collecting group on Facebook. It's like a pretty huge group. And the other day, somebody had their pile of books, and Smiths was in the pile in the corner, and it was just like jumping up and down like an artist when they hear their song on the radio the first time. I was like, yeah, somebody I don't know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what else? What are some of the other perks? So you have the holofoil, you have the standard cover. What else do you have?
Just a bunch of variants. Doing some posters. Gilberto did a bunch of like character sketches and stuff. We got some CGC books back that are graded for people who like graded books. Trying to think what else we have. Yeah, that's about it that I can think of. We'll add some more stuff probably. Got some secrets for halfway through and stuff to sort of re-motivate people. But people can also buy on the add-ons and stuff. Like we have all of the previous issues and stuff. So anyone who missed the first trade paperback, or there's a few singles left of the first prints, but not many. So it was like 25 or 50 of some of those. Wow. So people could still stock up on all the back issues and stuff like that. So it's a good way to catch up too. That's actually one of the cooler things that Kickstarter's added is the add-ons. Because it was so irritating before. You're trying to make the tiers and like, do I add everything to every tier? Or...
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Indiegogo does well. It lets you do, there are benefits and the pros and cons to Indiegogo. The cons outweigh the benefits, but it's an easy to use platform for the creator, but it's a lot more inconvenient to the consumer because it asks all these questions and all this other stuff. But it lets you do all these features and add-ons, and you don't have to go through approval. The only thing you want to confirm is that your business and your bank account. That's it. Where Kickstarter, you got to get through an approval process, and all this stuff.
You got to send blood samples.
Yes, I know.
It's out of control.
Yes. So now you're running the campaign for 30 days?
Yeah. So you guys have done both Indiegogo and Kickstarter?
Yes. Cast the Crazies on Kickstarter, and on Indiegogo I did Forbidden, which is my fantasy book. But I'm bringing Forbidden number 1. I did 0 on Indiegogo. I'm bringing number 1 to Kickstarter.
Oh, so you prefer Kickstarter? Okay.
Because when you look at the two, Kickstarter has a bigger reach and has a bigger following. And I did a survey, and all the responses, the majority response was bring it to Kickstarter.
That's kind of what I found too. Everybody seems to prefer it, so that's just why I went with it. So I just wasn't sure what creators preferred though. Yeah,
it was harder on Indiegogo, I felt. Although I didn't make the goal, I exceeded the goal, but it felt like it was a lot more challenging on Indiegogo, and it felt like more people knew and responded well to Kickstarter. So we're just gonna keep the rest of the books on Kickstarter.
Well, Kickstarter's got that app, man. That app is like gold because I'm on that app all the time. Like if I see something that I like, I just pledge, and and I don't have to worry about it because I'm not being charged right away. So it's like it doesn't get charged unless the thing makes its goal. Whereas with Indiegogo, first of all, you got to go online. There is no app, so you got to go online, and then you get charged right away, dude. Like they take your money, bam, right there. And if the person doesn't make it, now you got to go through the process of getting refunded and making sure that it gets refunded. So it's kind of a bit of a hassle, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds
when you compare the two, but hey, it's the thing with Indiegogo now, it gives you a storefront. So now if you make your goal, now people can just go buy your book at the store, which I don't know how that works, how that's working on the Forbidden end, Sam, but you get a storefront apparently.
I closed the storefront.
Oh, okay.
I closed it. Because they let you do where you can still continue to pledge even though the campaign's over for whatever tiers. But I closed up shop there because I'm just gonna move everything to Kickstarter. So talk about give us some more insight onto what the fans can expect from this second volume in this Kickstarter.
I think about ruining it. We got like a lot of preview, like we're sending a lot of books out to stores and stuff, preview books that are only going to be available during like Kickstarter kind of. So we got a lot of like local places, and we'll make a few contests and stuff online, and we've been sending a few out to like a couple of podcasts and stuff, and then they're gonna be giving them off to listeners and stuff to try and promote it.
Yeah, good stuff.
Trying to be creative this time a little bit. It's it's hard. You gotta have a budget and stuff.
It's like how much of it can you really be giving it away at this point?
Right, exactly. Like with the Kickstarter, you don't know how much you're gonna get in the end either, kind of. So it's like you gotta be pretty positive, but not stupid.
Well, yeah, I think that's one of the things. I think what I see sometimes with newbies doing a campaign that are just coming out for the first time and they're doing a Kickstarter. They look at some of the most recognizable names that they're generating, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, and so they think they could put themselves in that same position, and you really can't. You can't. You're foolhardy when you think about it. So I think that's why a lot of the independents, the success rate, the failure rate is higher than the success rate because they bite more. They eat with their eyes. Right?
Yeah.
And so I think the biggest thing is you don't have to have all the bells and whistles. Create a good, solid book that you're passionate about, that has heart and merit, and you put all your blood, sweat, and tears into it and put it out there. And don't print anything until you've made the campaign. I think that's another mistake indies make. They print everything first, and they're hoping to make that money back. Don't assume you're going to make it because it could be painful. I mean, that first campaign you talked about was painful. Same thing for us. I mean, it took us 25 days to make a goal, and then we exceeded the goal the next 5 days. But it took 25 long days just to make that goal, and that was painstaking. When
long days too.
Yes, long days because you find yourself almost as you're addicted to your phone and to the.
Just grumpy with everybody.
Yes. So
I thought my wife was gonna leave me, man.
I know. and then you jump for joy when you get that alert. You got a pledge. You're like, yes.
Dude, it's scary when you don't get pledges for a few days. Like you're like, wait a minute, man, what's going on?
I went 7 days without a pledge, and I was like, I'm a loser. Loser.
It's like, this thing's still working? Like, no, I was like, I videotaped myself pretty much every day to make like a commentary, and then I was gonna make like a YouTube video where like I help people with like their Kickstarters or whatever, and then afterwards I was watching the footage and just like, yeah, I'm not making this video. This won't help anybody.
No.
Oh, man,
That's
that is
awesome.
funny.
That's awesome. So
That is great.
this volume, so you take this series to more action, more drama, more suspense.
Well, basically, we did the first 4 issues, and then we did the 5th issue, but halfway through the 5th issue, our artist kind of got a better offer, so he was like, I'm sorry to do this to you guys, I got to take off for a bit. So that's when Edgar was like, well, I know Victor. And I was like, all right. And then showed me the Victor sample. I was like, oh, that's awesome. But it was like, well, but the art style's pretty different. And then Victor's like, oh, it's okay. I'll just draw like the other guy for the last 5 pages and finish that off so no one could tell. And then I'll do it in my style. I was just like, oh, I didn't even know people could do that. Like,
Oh, he had skills.
yeah, he pretty much matched up perfectly. Like, unless if you're looking for it, you could tell. But like, if you're just reading it, like, you don't notice. And it's like, it's pretty uncanny actually. But
That's freaking awesome.
And then when we were done that issue, Edgar was like, hey man, like, we've done all these issues and the annuals and stuff. And he's like, for new people, they don't really want to pick up issue 6. So he's like, let's just do like a really solid side story, just like a trade that's 60, 80 pages or something. We'll just do a complete, really nice book. And I was like, well, I guess. Like, I was kind of in the middle of another story, but I was like, whatever, man. Like, gotta do what your team wants to do once in a while. So yeah, we started like kicking around ideas, and we came up with a vacation idea because we were like, well, these characters literally after everything they've been through probably need a fucking vacation. So like, let's go with that idea. But it's like, how does a supervillain take a vacation? So we just sort of kicked ideas around about pretty much, well, these days you can't, especially not with cell phones and cameras everywhere and the internet. And yeah, so yeah, we just sort of snowballed with a story where they're basically on vacation for 5 minutes and stuff just starts to go wrong. And then we figured once we kickstarted the book and stuff, like for new readers and stuff, it's a pretty safe bet. It's a nice self-contained story that they don't have to read the whole series. They can read a few pages, and they're all the characters. It's like, I don't know, it's a really familiar feeling. Lots of people tell me, they're like, oh, I've been watching cartoons my whole life. It's like, I get it, it's evil scientist guy, it's his genius kid. And they're just like, they're really easy characters to follow. So right away you realize, okay, these are supervillains, they're going on a vacation. So you don't have to read everything else to really dive into it. And yeah, we just wanted to do another Kickstarter book to try and hook in a bunch of other people. Hopefully they just jump onto the regular series through this.
That's awesome, dude. How many pages is the book? I'm sorry, you probably said this.
The story is 61 pages, and then the book's like 80 pages because there's pin-ups and just extra stuff in the back.
That's great. And at what tier can you get the printed copy? Like, at what tier do you?
I think it's the 3rd tier. It's like $25 for the printed copy. Yeah.
Okay.
80 pages.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
That's nice.
That's solid, dude. That's
25 Canadian too. So like American, that's like free basically for you guys. $18 maybe. Our money's worthless.
Now, are you charging shipping on the?
Yeah, there's a bit of shipping on that too.
Okay.
Yeah,
makes sense. I mean, there's no, that stuff. And to everybody watching, you're like, why? Well, no, shipping is very expensive.
It's expensive. I can tell you by weight how much it's going to cost.
Yeah, it's probably one of the things that takes most of your whatever you funded is that shipping cost.
Yeah.
Are you shipping outside of not just Canada, obviously in the United States, but you're shipping outside of the U.S. and Canada?
We usually just do U.S. and Canada because last time we had a bunch go to other countries and they just didn't show up, and we had issues with tracking numbers and stuff. So we were like, we'll just keep it in Canada and States this time until we have a way to better guarantee books are going to get delivered and stuff, because it gets pretty expensive when you gotta like replace things and just international orders. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like to bite off more than I could chew if I can't handle it properly. Like,
Yeah,
it's just fair to anybody.
I have to ship to France. So I'm gonna make sure that I have everything in order when it goes out there, and I can be able to track it every step of the way.
I shipped stuff to like Edgar and Victor in Mexico a few times, and like they're just like, it never show up, and like half a year later I'll get it back, and it's just mangled. So I got like FedEx stuff down there when I send it, or FedEx or one of them, DHL or something.
Yeah.
And that's like $100, $120 or something just to ship it there. But it's overnight, but it's like, man, the mail just, you can't trust them sometimes.
No.
Like, I understand it gets lost, but why does it like look like it went to war or something?
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
So, where can people find you? What are your social handles?
We're AB312C Ent on Instagram. On Twitter, I believe I'm 12C AB3. And yeah, Facebook's just look up the Nefarious Smiths or AB312C Entertainment.
Awesome.
Basically where we're at right now.
And what time on Thursday does your campaign go live?
I'm not sure. We just have it set for Friday, actually. Isn't it Friday?
The 29th is Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh. I don't know. Oh, crazy. That's like 2 days.
Yes, I know.
Oh, I thought it was Friday.
Yes, let the stress begin.
All right, spell checks on. Oh. Does it just at midnight then as a default then, or?
I think you set the time.
You can you can hit the button whenever you want on that.
Yeah, you can just hit live whenever you want.
You
and
can
launch.
just launch it whenever you want, or I don't know. You can set it to launch on its own. I know when we did it the last couple of times, we've had to hit the button and then boom, we're live.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, no, it's cool, man. And I can't thank you for agreeing to do the swap because that thing's gonna be cool, man. And ours is gonna launch at around 8:00 on the 29th. So we're gonna go live on YouTube, and we'll be shouting you out. So hopefully people will get on there and do their thing on your book as well. So.
Yes, we'll be promoting the hell out of the.
No, when I was looking at your guys' covers and stuff, it was just like, yes, so many good different style too. Like they're all the same style sort of, but like different. They're on the bus or something in the one, and then just the forest and stuff, and it's just like, oh, this is sweet.
Thanks.
So, yeah, well, I don't know. At first, Kevin's like, "Oh, yeah, team up with these guys or whatever." It's like, "Oh, who?"
What are you talking about, Willis?
He's like, team up. Well, listen,
I said the same thing when he told me. I was like, and then I was like, let me see it, and I was like, all right, this makes sense. This makes sense. It's something new.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, oh, this is sweet. I haven't seen it before. Yeah, I'm down for this. But at first, it's like, they want to team up with me. That's sketchy. Like,
yes. And you know what? We can also set up somewhere in the halfway mark. We can set up another live show where we're just promoting each other's the campaigns to try to really get people to go after that stretch goals. So like 2 weeks in, we'll connect and we'll just go live and.
Definitely, man. I'm down for that.
Yeah, and if you want to bring your artist or anybody else from your team on, let us know. We'll get you guys on.
We'll make it a party. Doug.
For sure. Absolutely. No, I keep promising that. I was like, come on, guys, I'll get you guys some promotion and stuff because they speak mostly Spanish, but they learn English as a second language. But it's like, you guys got to get out there. Like, you're so talented. Like,
well, that's why I got George.
Is great. Yeah. Yo hablo español. Vamos a hablar español.
Yes.
We're good, bro. We're good.
Yeah, that's why I got George. Don't ask me. I sound like a knucklehead. So that's why I got George. He's the guy who's gonna bail me out.
It makes my day.
Well, Doug, listen, we definitely have to bump heads once everything, and we can start going to shows and stuff like that. We'll let you know where we're gonna be. Let us know where you're gonna be, and then we can maybe hook up somewhere.
I'm discovering what a small world this is. These independent comics and stuff. Like,
I've
already talked to like a few people who like creators are my heroes and stuff. Just like chat room and stuff. And like, oh man, like you just swing by and talk to people. And, it's so cool.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing how we tend to forget that we're all just human and we all have the same passion, and some people are just at different levels, but we all love the same thing, and I think that's what brings us together is the art form.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. And everybody's just excited to see what everyone else is doing and stuff. And, well, it's really cool.
Absolutely.
It's a pretty fun place to be.
Yes.
Absolutely. Doug, thank you so much for being on, man. And
Thanks for having me.
remember, everybody, April 29th is the big launch of the
Thursday.
Nefarious,
Thursday.
of the Nefarious Smiths. So definitely hit the link for the launch page, and let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Yes.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, buddy. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, man. Have a good one, bud.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Peace. Nice.
Yeah, so that was Doug, a.k.a. Diggins McDugal, one of the best names ever.
Diggins McDugal,
yeah,
baby.
that name is awesome. And
See, everybody watching, you guys have to hit that link.
Yes.
Let's get some followers on that launch page. I just became number 10, so I'm ready for when that thing launches.
nice,
Ready
yes.
to back it.
So the links are both in the summary for both Catch the Crazies and the Nefarious Smiths. Our goal for Catch the Crazies is 100 backers. We love to get 100 backers. We had 64 backers in our last campaign. We'd love to get to 100 backers. And, we got some cool, exciting stuff. We're doing a crossover with Diggins and the Nefarious Smiths. So if we make a $2,500 stretch goal, you'll get a copy of the Nefarious Smiths. If they make a $2,500 stretch goal, you get a copy of Catch the Crazies. So it's pretty dope. Pretty awesome that this is happening. It's the first time for us doing a cross-promotional campaign. And so it's pretty cool. I'm excited for it. Thursday, we go live. Join us live for the Catch the Crazies live launch. And we're hoping that everybody that's waiting on our landing page takes advantage of that first day bundle, because it's only available that first day, and it's a steal.
Definitely.
It's a steal.
Yes, absolutely. Make sure that you guys follow our launch page, and you'll get notified as soon as we go live. Even if you're not watching the show, you're going to get an email saying we're live, and then you want to take advantage of that first day bundle. But big shout out to Doug, aka Diggins McDugal, for being on the show and agreeing to do this cross promotion where we're going to be swapping PDFs. So thank you so much, Doug, for being on. And it's a good idea, man, to have him midway through to do another live show. So get ready to have him back. Yeah,
it's going to be dope. It's going to be dope. And, with his crew, bring your crew. And, we'll have a dance-off, like breaking.
Dance off. Interesting. Interesting. You want to have a dance off. All right.
So if you enjoyed this episode and you liked everything that you heard today, please give us a thumbs up. Hit that sub button. Tell a friend. Chat it up with us. Leave us a comment below. And we do this because of you, and we can't do this without you. So thank you so much for supporting Catch the Craze. Thank you for subscribing. We'll see you soon. I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera.
George the Dreamer Medina.
And we are...
It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy. Acquiesce. No, it's about my friend Acquiesce. I met Say my name, right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh, my.
He described me. He said, I'm the...
Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.